Hello there, my name is Claire. Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm going to be doing a traditional Japanese home in The Sims 4. This is a one bedroom, one bathroom home built in the world of Mount Kumari, and if you want to know the total price for this house, you can check out the description, and while you're down there, you can hit that like and subscribe button. It does help me grow here on YouTube and is greatly appreciated. Thank you to those who have already subscribed. We have reached the goal of 100 subscribers. We've actually reached 101 subscribers at the time of recording this video. So thank you so much to those who have subscribed. We are kind of going for a split floor plan in this home. The kitchen and living room is on the left side, and then the bedroom and bathroom are on the right side, with the dining room, and you can see we're working on right now, in the middle. I was kind of imagining that one of the Sims could be a chef. You can have up to 2 Sims living in this home, and this home could also be the perfect vacation rental for your Sims if you don't want them to be living here full time. I was thinking about like how this home could be a residence or a vacation rental, so I try to keep both of those in mind. It did kind of make me go with a more simple design when it came to cluttering or decorating this space. And one reason I wanted to have the sim be into like cooking and having a lot of people over is because they might be having like a food blog, and that is why the computer is in the kitchen instead of like the living room. Also, it probably wouldn't have fit in the living room because it's kind of small. I did try to look at videos of Japanese homes online, and YouTube was especially helpful when it came to this, seeing between a traditional Japanese home and a modern Japanese home. I tried to go for more of a traditional style when it came to this specific home, and so we are just going to be adding some decorations onto the desk. And I was imagining if this was a residence home, that maybe the sim would be a food blogger, and so it makes sense to have the computer in the kitchen. So we are just going to be adding a few little decorations on here, and then we're going to be going into the living room. So like I mentioned earlier, I try to keep the floor plan kind of split, with having the living room and kitchen on one side and having like the bedroom and bathroom on the other side. So we are just going to be making this room pretty simple. I tried to incorporate items seen online watching those videos, and I noticed that like the living rooms are kind of spacious, and I wanted to have a spacious living room too. So this is a small living room though, so it just kind of ended up with being minimal furniture in this room. Like, I wanted to add that bookshelf in this room, but I couldn't like find a spot for it because there's a lot of windows in this room, and I wanted each side to be symmetrical to the other. So like if you like folded this house in half, it would be a like mirror image of each other. So I do add a stereo into this room, and that's not something I normally point out. I just don't normally add stereos into houses, especially large stereos like this, but there's the room for it in this room, and I know Japanese is a very technological, advanced place in the world, and so I wanted to have a stereo in this room. So we're just going to be adding some artwork and going to be adding some curtains onto the front of the room, or the back of the room, the front of the house. So we are just going to I do add a rug into this room, I just don't like add it in the video. I just you'll have to see that during the screenshots. I do also add a space heater because it's an item I don't like normally use, and since I am doing a build where it's just the snowy escape pack, I'm like, you know what? I don't know when next time I'm going to use it, so I'm going to add it in this build. So I think it's mostly for like the snowy area. That's like when you mostly see it. But maybe this is an old home. The air circulation's not the greatest, so it makes sense to have a air purifier heater in this house. So we are just going to be adding a shelf onto this wall, and just going to be adding a few little pieces onto the shelf. It is like a smaller shelf with a lot of angles, and so it took me a minute to like find a lot of like small items. I do move some of these plates from the kitchen onto the shelf, and why that kind of made sense because you don't want to be carrying the food into the dining room and the plates. It's nice to already have the plates in the dining room. So realistically, I was trying to make it easy, even though that stuff doesn't really matter in the game. Was trying to think like if this was a real life house, how would I want to live in it, or how would doing these little things make my life easier. So we are just going to be adding some plants. This is something I noticed in Japanese homes. They have little like raised platform with like plants or tapestry. So now we are in the bathroom of the house, and you can see that I split it up in two sections. So the bathtub and shower are in a separate room, and then the toilet and sink are in a separate room, and that's something I've seen is common in Japanese homes. And since that door does have a window in it, I did purposely add a little like bathrobe over the door to give your Sims a little bit of privacy. I don't know how much that would matter fully. Your Sims won't like get embarrassed because there's a window in the door. So we are just going to be adding some decorations onto this shelf. And now we're going to be adding a picture onto the hallway, and then I'm like, you know what, these pictures should match because they're in the same hallway. Like, not my picture should match, but the frames should match. And now we are in the final room of this house, which is the bedroom. I do get rid of these little like raised platform area because I thought that this was going to be the living room at first, but then I realized it made more sense to have the living room and dining room, or the living room and the kitchen together, and then have like the bedroom kind of be more in a quiet space. So we are just going to be adding a dresser and going to be making sure this is all one room. It looked kind of like the room was still had those like raised levels. So anyway, we are just going to be adding some lights, and I do add a seating area, and I really like how like cozy this bedroom turned out. Leave a comment down below which room is your favorite, or if you would want to play in this house as a vacation rental or a permanent residence in your Sims game. I'm really curious to know because I kind of designed this house with like either or in mind. So we are just going to be finishing up this bedroom, and then we are going to be going into the backyard. I try to keep this backyard pretty simple because it's so small. I kind of have a lot of like space in the front for like a entryway zen garden type of feel, but I do have a few things out here like a fireplace, a grill, and a barbecue. I feel like this space turned out super cute for being such a small footprint. And if you want to play in this home, you can find all the information down in the description. I post new videos every single week, so if you enjoyed watching, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!